copyright stuff. We all love copyright. It sounds so interesting, right?
I know, it's the most fun thing in my life is learning about copyright laws.
Yeah, we're going to learn about copyright laws. There's some laws going against AI that we're going to talk about today. Rick Beato released a song. I know how much everybody loves Rick Beato and what he does, but he has been fighting on the AI music front, okay? I was watching his video about this, but AI music faces legal limits. U.S. Copyright Office issues landmark ruling. So they actually did come up with a ruling. So on April 2nd, the U.S. Copyright Office released a significant report addressing the legal status of AI generative creative works. The report states that the work created entirely by artificial intelligence are not eligible for copyright protection unless they include meaningful human contribution. My first question is, how the hell are you going to do that? How are you going to find out if meaningful human contribution is going to be added? And what constitutes human contribution or meaningful contribution? It's too vague. It's too vague, in my opinion.
I have no idea how they're going to do that. It doesn't make any sense to me because when you think about how music is created, that's not a band form. People creating stuff on a computer, creating beats and stuff like that. Where do you draw the line from what is generated by the finger telling this beat to do this thing versus a loop that's going to allow that to happen automatically? Yeah. And then there's steps to this, right? There's levels that get closer and closer to that. And where do you draw that line? I think it's going to have to be like a case by case.
Well, like Janine said in the chat, I clicked the button, human interaction. By the way, hit the like button on this video if you guys enjoy content like this to push this out to more of an audience. But they go on to say the decision carries substantial implications for the music industry, especially as AI-generated music becomes more sophisticated and accessible through platforms like Suno, Udo, and Rika. And all I'm going to say is that I swear to God they keep this vague so these companies can still make money. I really do. The Copyright Office emphasized that only humans can hold copyrights. If any AI tool independently creates a song or a piece of art without direct human authorship, which it takes the click of a button, like Janine just mentioned in the chat, so I wonder if that counts, that work cannot be protected under U.S. copyright law. The report clarifies the person who translates an idea into a fixed, tangible form is entitled to copyright protection. Materials created entirely by non-humans are not. Again, I don't know how they're going to
Where does it
do this.
start?
Yeah,
it's where does it start? Because somebody pressed the button to say, create new version of this song using AI. Like that is somebody literally pressing a button. Is that different than like a DJ pressing a button on stage? I'm so not in favor of AI taking over the music industry, but there has to be more specific ways to actually say what is and isn't allowed.
And there's been versions of AI that's been used for many years, like when you do the drum loops or when you do those creating loops. They've been doing this for a while. AI just became a thing in the past few years. And now that we have a label for it, it's been blowing up. This law is so vague, just like every other fucking law in the US for people to do loopholes around. That's all that's all I see is loopholes around this. The way I can just see a lawyer right now going to court. It says, we consider this a meaningful thing by clicking this button.
Yeah, if it makes their team a bunch of money, they're going to argue that that works like that. Look at Ticketmaster. How many times have we talked about this? The court ruled against them in 1993. They're still allowed to have a monopoly over the ticket. Why? It's illegal. They have ruled that it's illegal. They don't care because they're making money off of it. So they're willing to forego that.
Music educator, YouTuber Rick Beato, who testified before Congress in 2023 on this issue, praised the ruling. One of my core you praise a ruling that's going to be easily manipulated. But one of my core recommendations was that fully generated AI works shouldn't be copyrightable. Now that the idea has become law, Beato stated he expressed concern over the rise of AI-generated music, not from a legal standpoint, but from an artistic one. In a recent video, Beato elevated several AI music platforms, comparing their output and creative potential. Platforms like Eureka, Ika offered genre-based song generation with country music replication, which, by the way, country always comes out the best for some reason in those AI things. Replication became surprisingly convincing, though most of the tracks had a synthetic sounding vocals and weak instrumentals. Beato described these results as cringeworthy and limited. Now, there's a creator that I follow for trading stocks and stuff, and he uses generative AI music in the beginning, and it's pretty funny, actually. But you don't hear the synthetic sounding vocals. So I guess Rick Beato's just using weird programs or whatnot.
Well, he used Marika. It was
in his video. I've used the Suno one with Gus G. We were messing around with it.
Hey, why do you think it's easiest for them to replicate country music?
because they've been like applying AI in country already with the formula.
The formula is AI driven.
Yeah, come on. Pop country music has had AI thing already built in when they create new songs. So the ruling underscores the belief that creativity requires human agency, but it also raises questions about AI's evolving role in music. For musicians, AI is a powerful tool, but without human input, the results lack legal protection. For audiences, the question remains whether they will care if a song was made by a human or machine. And to be honest, the general consensus is nobody cares. They're like, if they like it, they'll keep listening to it.
So this is the most unfortunate part about all of this, is that as much as I want to hate on the industry or the rise of AI, whoever's creating AI, ultimately what it's all going to end up coming down to is if the people accept it as music. And they will, because about a year ago, which Cardi B lip syncing at some music festival, the argument was that most of the people that were watching that were perfectly okay with the fact that she wasn't actually singing live and that it was just a backtrack. And that alone tells me that a lot of people are going to be okay with AI also, because they just care how it sounds. And if it pleases them from a very like shallow standpoint.
The other concern too is younger generations grow up with this music and maybe listening to our music or older music, it's going to sound weird to them because it's about what you know, what you grew up around. But at the same merit, though, my kids have been listening to the most weirdest, slow down, very, very human elements. Like when I say that, not really well performed music, and they absolutely love it because of how real it feels. They call it shoegaze. That's right. Do you know why they call it shoegaze, by the way?
I've never heard of this.
It's because they're staring at their feet all the time while they're hitting all the pedals for the effects. That's how it got its name.
So it's just like a lot of effects going. It's effect-driven music.
Yeah, it's effect-driven music. Which
Okay.
you could argue those are AI algorithms in those pedals, but I don't know. I think there's going to be music for everyone. There's some people that are going to love the simple, basic shit, and there's some people that are going to love the more complex stuff. There's some people that are going to want to hear all the weird artifacts and weird stuff in the music. There's people that are going to want really polished songs. It really is preference. And I think there's going to be a want for all these styles.
You're right, except for the fact that there's going to be an ease of creation when it comes to AI. Whereas if people are supporting that just as much as regular music,
You know what?
people are going to use AI because it's going to be easier and faster and easier to make money that way.
Why are people doing so much AI stuff on art, though? Can't we just get AI
a
to
real
fucking do my laundry for me instead?
Yeah, that's the real issue. See, I saw a comment. I saw a comment that said something like, "We wanted AI to wash our dishes and do our laundry, not to create art for us." And
yes,
it's doing the opposite.
That's a great quote. Whoever said that, yes.
Yeah, it's doing the opposite, and that's the truth. I don't want to do my fucking dishes. I want AI to do that for me. But do I want to write a song? I'd rather write a song than have somebody else write a song for me.
Yeah, so you have more time to do artwork. I don't get how did we get here? Like, why did we want to be fair, writing music is very difficult. It's not easy.
And art makes more music. Art makes more money. Not like the bottom level of art, but the highest level of art makes the most money out of everything. Like the biggest movies and the biggest music stars, they make more money than anybody. So they're going to go for that. That's what they're trying to hit, that top level.
Bro, if there was like, I'm not gonna lie, if there was an AI robot that like did my fucking chores for me, I'd fucking go broke for that too.
Not going to argue with that. See, that's the thing. I think there are ways that we could utilize this for our benefit. Video games use AI to control the characters that you are not controlling in a video game. So this has been around forever, and it has its uses. AI getting better in a video game, for example, is a really good thing. AI taking the place of a human in a situation where they could be getting paid to do the job and doing it better because they're not robotic, that's a bad thing.
Yes.
And there's got to be that line drawn somewhere.
Somewhere.
We're not there yet. It's going to take a couple more years for us to even figure that out.
All right, guys. We do this show live every Sunday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any suggestions,
hit that like button before you leave.
Yeah, hit the like button before you leave. Video. And go to our Discord, share news stories with us under the South Sound Podcast tab, and let us know what you guys want us to talk about. We talk about all of our favorite musicians from all over the world. So we appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one. So, see you.
Adios.